Okay, so time's up. So we start. So I would like to welcome you in the ITIL version 5 webinar. And yeah, I try to find a way how can I explain that kind of things which is important for you, such as the exams and everything all around the ITIL version 5. And before of that, so I would like to introduce myself. So I move forward. Yes, so my name is Péter Vályi-Nagy. I'm as a trainer and a lead trainer of the Training 360 and also an ITSM consultant, so making some kind of IT related things at small and large companies as well, and holds the IT4 Master certification. It helps a little bit at to find the holistic way how we can work all together with the companies and organizations. So, and of course, some articles as well as this is also an important part to be a master. So hopefully I can help and providing support to everyone. And you can find me and you can catch me in the LinkedIn. So if you would like, just go ahead. And maybe some of you was also participated in one of my trainings. It's a foundation or an intermediate training. So hopefully you will enjoy this 1 hour. We will try to cover lots of things about the ITIL 4 and IT 5. It's very important, the IT version 5, but it's very important about IT 4 because of that. It's based mainly on the IT 4. That's why we will see what's going on with the new version. So let's see. So how we started with the ITIL, so the 80s. So we will check everything about the changes. So it's coming from the 80s. So it's also a very important journey. It came from the past. And we will also, I think it's very important for you, the IT version 5 certification scheme. So we will see and we will cover all of the available levels from the foundation to the other designations and the master as well. Very important, not just only the IT4 designations, and we have IT version 3 designations can be a part of making some kind of transition of the certifications as well. So I will show it to you. Hope you can go ahead with that kind of things. We have a quick review about what's inside the IT version 5. Currently, not all of the products, all of the modules started. Because of that, the foundation is here. The ITIL 5 version 5 bridge is also available, and sooner or later, within 1 and 2 months, pretty sure that all of the product service experience strategy will come, and we can see what's going on with and what is the new in the ITIL version 5. And the final part of this webinar, so we will have some questions and answers. So if you have any questions regarding the topic of the ITIL version 5 and the transitions from ITIL version 3 or even ITIL 4, just go ahead and ask the questions. So there is there is room for these questions. I'm trying to find the best answers for you. Okay, let's move on to the first topic. What we have. Yes, what has the ITIL framework given us? So you can see here, so we started in the 80s. The ITIL version 1, it started in England, and it was a government related. And it's based on the IT service management. There are lots of disaster recovery, service desk, and made some kind of processes which is very important for the IT. That was okay, and it was sooner or later it will be very famous, and they lots of the IT guys tried to find a way to catch everything about these processes because they said and they realized it's very useful for the companies, and such as the IT version 2, which was very important for that kind of companies, which is a bank, which some kind of insurance and insurance companies as well, and they realized what about the cost and how they can optimize the cost and risk as well, so that trying to provide that kind of service is important for everyone inside the service management. Finally, we had the ITIL version 3. This is a life cycle approach, and I can say this is one of the best framework which is inside the ITIL frameworks. So it's followed by lots of the companies, and large and small companies as well, and this is very good for the ITSM. It's IT service management. What was the difference and why they realized that the ITIL4 is very important? Because of that, the ITIL version 3 has the strategy, the design, and of course the transition. And after we had some operation and the continuous service improvement, they realized everything is fine with the processes, everything is fine about what kind of functions we have inside the company, such as the service desk, but they not realized all of the work is carrying out by people. So that's why in the ITIL4 they find a way to trying to connect with the lean principles, try to connect with the agile way of working, and of course the DevOps also, it's a very important movement. And the ITIL4 trying to find a way to making some kind of people management, so such as the workforce and talent management processes as well, and the practices also is working very hard on it. But unfortunately, there were some other concepts such as the service value chain, but to be honest, there was nobody has clue about that, what's really inside of the service value chain. Because of that, when I had some trainings, most of the participants has questions about that, how they can use it in the day-by-day work and the business as usual, and there were no very good answers. So because of that, just do it, but I don't think so that it's enough. So some kind of practice, it's very important. And finally, the people cert, or Excel also, we can say the people cert, they realized maybe the previous version, ITIL version 3, was the best to do that kind of things which can be realized and can be connected to the real world scenarios. So that's why they decide to change the value chain, and they use the product and service management. So there is no only service value chain. It's currently we have value chain, and the ITIL value chain has changed. So, but I will show it to you. And of course, because of that, you can you already know, and you can already use the AI related technologies such as ChatGPT, lots of things, and there are lots of agents, AI agents inside or day by day work. So this is also part to be in the ITIL version 5. When it started, so it's a little bit tricky because the ITIL4 issued in 2019, but after that they realized some change is necessary, so they started to work in 2022 from this year, and there were lots of participants, lots of consultancy, lots of contributors all over the world to trying to find a way how they can work each other, how they can provide that kind of guidance to be and understand the concept of the ITIL. So currently we have the ITIL version 5, so we will see what's inside on it. What was the main situation? So they said, yes, it's built on strength because of the version 3 is really a very good structure. It's absolutely a life cycle, it's working well, but now the ITIL version 5, it's some kind of language of growth. Because of that, it's not just only IT service management, it's a holistic way to working in the service management. It's an end-to-end approach. Also, it's a very important part, the guiding principles is coming from Estonia. So this is absolutely some kind of common sense, we can say, but this is some kind of awareness inside the companies, inside the organizations, and of course this is also important for you as well. Why the ITIL is its very strength, and what is the strength of the ITIL framework? So it's a global best practice framework. There are lots of frameworks available, such as the Verism. This is also a very good one. So maybe if you have some time, just go ahead and try to find a way to read about the Verism. There are lots of things inside the ITIL version 5, so you can realize some interesting part of it. The IT foundation, it's also important for all of us. So it's a prerequisite. So there are lots of things about that. So most of the companies is trying to find a way. At least the IT foundation is important for all of the colleagues. ITIL designations, so we can see and we will cover what kind of ITIL designations available. So it's currently we have the practice management, managing professional, and the strategic leader, and of course we have ITIL masters. The core content is not exactly the same, but it's not changed in a large way. So we have the guiding principles, yet there is not any change. The continual improvement model is the same, it's a 7-step, and the ITIL service value system is remain with the 5 components. Full compatibility about everything about what we have learned about the ITIL 4. So there is no any that kind of large changes. Maybe we should learn about that. Also, the ITIL has the official books, the training materials. We can see the training and e-learning possible ways to pass the exams, and you can do it anywhere and anytime you would like to pass an exam and take an exam. There is some assessment as well, so this is also important about the practical way. So maybe any of you has some kind of intermediate exam or intermediate trainings and classroom trainings. There was some assessment as well, some practical way to measuring up, so what's going on and what knowledge you have from this kind of ITIL framework. Very important about the ITIL. So the commitment, so currently we have only the English language, but currently there are some companies trying to making that kind of transitions. So it's 8 languages at least will be finished, and maybe in this year we will have 10 languages which can able to provide that kind of IT framework. We have also the membership content, so maybe you has faced with the PeopleCert Plus subscription. It's very important because of that. You have lots of very important parts, so such as the mock exams, take two as well, and there are lots of very good documentations and practices inside of the peoplecert.org. And we have ATV and ACP. What is that? So the ATV is accredited tool vendor. So the Jira also is accredited tool, such as the service desk. And we have also, it's very important for lots of the companies, they providing some kind of IT or service management using the accredited consultant partnership. So if you have some ideas about that and trying to provide that kind of maturity assessments and trying to measuring up every companies or some audience as well, so go ahead and try to be an accredited consulted partner as well. So there are lots of things and lots of very good and new things, and also some activities which started in the past. It's now it's a strength of the ITIL framework. They said it's an evolution, not a revolution. So they not changed. It's not a quite big change. It's just only some kind of evolution. So the first one is very good because of that they changed that kind of things, because I mean the service value chain. Unfortunately, the service value chain was not very good and not understandable for lots of the participants. Because of that, there was no anything about the real world scenario to thinking about that, how they can work in the day by day working. So what we have, so what stays in the same? So the guiding principles, it's absolutely as mentioned, unified in the digital products and service lifecycle. So in the previous version, IT4, we had IT, SM, and service management, but now we have digital product service management. So DPSM currently we can say for the ITIL version 5. The 4 dimensions service management is also important. So we have the practice, experience, drive, and adopt inside. So we have some more quality and more content inside the 4 dimensions. It's very important. So we can see about why it is important. So maybe we go and trying to focus inside the human part of this. The practice is all the same, just only we have some IT related and AI native guidance about that. So we have some descriptions and we have some terms and definitions, but some of them has some extension with the AI. So that's some kind of new with this kind of things. The foundation is an entry point, so that was the entry point in the previous version. So now we have clearly defined roles, responsibilities, and outcomes inside the company. So maybe if you will try to have some certificates, just go ahead and trying to do some kind of IT master designation. So the ITIL is very famous and it's very popular at the companies and internationally. So that's why it's very easy to do something. And now they change several things about that, how you can catch that kind of designation, which is important for you. So the simplified qualification scheme aligned with the job roles. So we will see some examples as well. So some kind of scenarios. As mentioned, the guiding principle, some kind of awareness about how we can do something inside the companies, about the product, about providing services at the company, such as focusing the value, customer experience, user experience, understand what is important for all customers and consumers. Start value is also important because of that, the cost and risk as well, to measuring up everything. And we use some kind of lean principles such as the Gemba walk. It's very important to make sure that we understand what is really happening inside the company. It's very important for the top management at some organizations. Progress iteratively with feedback as mentioned, so some kind of agile way of working. The feedback is so important because of that we have a very quick, and it's a VUCA word, so its volatility is very high. So we need feedback as soon as possible. So that's why we're working with that kind of principles. Collaboration and promote visibility. It's also important because lots of companies has silos inside the company. There is no information, there is no experience about that, how we can work each other. And some of the frameworks, some of the methodologies can help, such as the DevOps has lots of very good things, and the Agile can help with making some kind of collaboration. Also, the visibility is coming from the Lean, so it's provided some kind of examples, such as the Kanban or Scamban boards we can use to make sure that we can display all of the value which is important for the companies. This is also some kind of aim to break down the silos. So that's why we work with the think and work holistically. Also important to keep it simple and practical because we have very complex systems. So, and of course, sometimes maybe we have no ideas what to do, and trying to find a way how we can easy find the steps in some kind of procedures. Optimize and automate is also an important part. So we can use the optimization. So maybe you remember from the ITIL 4, we use some kind of lean principles as well about the waste. So what kind of waste we have? So weighting as well. Also the transportation and so on. There are lots of things which is very important to see and try to catch all of this. So we will use the value stream mapping. And also the automation is very important. As I mentioned, the complexity of the system is larger and more complexity here. That's why we have some connection with the AI. We have also some connection with the AI ops as well. This is also very important about the AI native working with the ITIL framework. What's new? It's very important. So this slide is talking about that kind of things, that what is change and what is important change inside the ITIL. And the ITIL 5 has that kind of change because we have product and services. So the product and services, it's okay because we need to build that kind of product which is relevant in the market, and from the customer view, and the customer market is also important, and it must be changed because of some kind of problems with if we have no any change and no any continual improvement or any innovations. So some of the companies and organization has some kind of troubles. So that's why if we have a new technology and a new product as well, we need to provide that kind of services, which is important. So that's why we use the new value system, and inside the value system we use the value chain. In the previous service value chain, we had 6 steps, and we realized, and I mean the people that realized that is not so good. So that's why the change is very, very important. So that's why they thinking about that. Okay, go back to the version 3 and try to find the life cycle model, such as the service and the software development life cycle as well. So because of that, we can see what's happening in the market. We asking everything about from the customers and consumers, and we discover what is important. After that, we design the product. So we have very good design thinkings. We have also feedbacks, A/B testing as well. There are lots of very, very good things inside of it. Maybe you can realize we have lots of mobile phones and mobile apps which working in the day-by-day basis. So that's why the design is also important. So the customer experience, user experience, this is also a very good part. Acquire, the acquire, it's also the same. So we had in the previous version, it's an IT4, it's an obtain build. So we should obtain some kind of service elements and items. So and acquire and build some kind of obtain build. And this is that kind of questions inside the organization where we can say build or buy. This is decision is so important for the company because of the cost and risk as well. Finally, if we have the product, we should thinking about that, how we can make the transition, how we can implement inside the companies, the organization, or at the customers, what kind of handover is necessary, what kind of documentations, etc. So it's very important. So this is also important part of the transitions. After that, of course, the operation is important, about the infrastructures, about the platforms, how we can making that kind of things. The deliver is make sure that the service level management, and make sure that we have some kind of targets. We meet the requirements as well. So the service level management is an important part. And of course, in the day-by-day basis, there are some incidents, there are some problems which we need to find a way how we can sort out that kind of things. So we use the support. And we realize this is a life cycle. So that's why the people decide to use this end-to-end understanding, how the value created, how we can move forward from the beginning to the end. So that's why the life cycle activities working all together inside the service value system. So you can see here it's a value chain. So the discover, design, acquire, build, transition, operate, deliver, support. It's very important part of the new ITIL. Okay, and this is that part which is important for you. It's the certification scheme. So how we can move forward if we have a certificate, maybe we have some designations. So let's get started. It's very important. So the qualification scheme about that. So in the ITIL version 5, the entry point again, so this is the ITIL foundation. So it depends on you, and depends on that what kind of certificate is inside your packet. And maybe if you have ITIL 4 foundation, you can decide, maybe you go ahead and try to find a way to pass the ITIL version 5 foundation, or even try to find a way and go and making the ITIL bridge We have the trainings as well about the ITIL bridge. It's mostly it's some kind of recommendation about the people cert. They said it's 1 day, but in the training 360 we provide a half a day because we realized it's so easy to understand. If you have if you are familiar with the ITIL for foundations, it's not necessary to 1 day to go ahead and try to find a way again to have some kind of knowledge. It's just only that kind of things which is some kind of change between the ITIL 4 and ITIL version 5. We have the practice managers stream, so this is not different. So we have the monitor, support, fulfill, and the other parties as well. Each of them has 5 practices from the 34 practices. So maybe you realize there are lots of practices in the IT4. Of course, if you have the practice manager stream, we can say we have designation. So we have this certificate. We can use the ITIL transformation. It can help us. So I will show it to you what kind of possible way to get again and try to translate this ITIL 4 to an ITIL version 5. If you have managing professional, so there are some modules. It's an ITIL product as mentioned previously. So we have 8 steps. So it's a life cycle from the product. We go to the services, and very important. So nowadays it's some kind of motto and some kind of buzzword, the experience. So nowadays it's very important. So maybe we can provide and deliver that kind of value, but the experience is a must. It's very important if you would like to do very good things and happy people. The experience is a must for all of the mobile applications, all of the services we are providing internationally. And the transformation, this is also important. This is a final exam for the master or final exam to the other designations such as the managing professional, strategic leader, and the practice manager. This is speaking about the organization changes and the organization change, how we can move forward. But to be honest, I had some information about that. This is one of the documentation, one of the book. It came from the people set. Maybe you remember that, or maybe you read this. It's how to implement ITIL, and there are lots of things about that. How to implement ITIL. Lots of things about the benchmarking, the business case, the consumer surveys, the Canavin, and the Gamba Walk, and ITIL maturity model. So there are lots of things inside the IT transformation which can help you to make sure that you understand the concept, how you can move forward with a good service provision. The strategic leader is remain the same, but just only one exam for the IT strategy, and you will be a strategic leader. But of course, it's necessary to have some kind of IT transformation. So 2 exams, it's necessary to, and 2 exams, and of course, classroom or any e-learning is very important for that. And we have an extension module, so I was very surprised about that. This is not a part of the foundation. This is an extension module. It's not necessary to have some, so there is no prerequisites of the ITIL AI governance, so you can go ahead with that. Or even if you have a People Cert Plus, there are some things about the AI governance, so how it's working, why should we care about the AI, what is the challenge of the AI, how we can making the corporate governance of the technology, defining effective AI governance, adapting the governance for the AI. So that's why it's very important. So if you have some time and if you have some possible way to go ahead with some things, I highly suggest the ITIL AI governance as well, because now it's some kind of emerging technology, but tomorrow it will be a must. So that's why I highly suggest to go ahead and try to find a way. At least please check the People Cert Plus and check what's about that, what kind of videos available at peoplecert.org. At the highest designation, so the ITIL master, there are three components. So if you have a management professional, which is a very good one, a very good designation, and there are lots of exam as well, the strategic leader, and we need as well the practice manager. And if they, all of them, it's in your packet, you will automatically get that kind of designation, which is called ITIL master. So meantime, if you have any questions, just go ahead. So you can go ahead with that. Of course, there is some chat, and you can type that kind of questions. So let me see about, let's see, the qualification scheme. So I already mentioned and touched some point of this. So if you can see the IT foundation, and Brian trying to find, yes. So the core modules, so we can say the core modules, and we have the extension. So the extension, as I mentioned, the AI governance is not part of the full qualification scheme, just only if you need this kind of certificate, it can help you. So the foundation is a very important part. As I mentioned, it's an entry point, and we have three parts of this qualification scheme. As the first one, is a practice manager, monitor, support, fulfill, plan, implement, and control, and collaborate, assure, and improve. Very important to have the designation and get the designation for the IT master. One of these three, it's enough. So get the certification, and this is good for you, so that you will be an IT practice manager, but any of these three, it's enough for you. The next one, it's a big change. So the practice manager has not changed. Because of that, it's very new. So it's very new. It's 2 or 3 years ago it started. But the managing professional has the product, the service, and experience. It's quite new products and service experience content inside the materials. But maybe if you had some familiar with the software development and some software management and any experience and design experience, you will find lots of very interesting and very useful methodologies as well. And the strategy has changed as well. It's tried to find that kind of things which currently is working in the market, and lots of companies and organizations working with that kind of strategies, some kind of parallel strategies, and it's also part of the strategic leader. And it's very important. We had the DPI in the previous version. It's a direct plan and improve. It's not necessary anymore. So if you go and try to find a way to get the strategic leader, it's the IT foundation, it's enough, and the strategy, and of course for the transformation, this is very important. All of the things which you would like to get the designations, the IT transformation is a must. Okay, let's see in details. So if you can see this qualification scheme, so we had the practice manager, managing professional, strategic leader. So all of the streams has several things. So the practice manager, as I mentioned, just only one, it's enough from that kind of modules. The managing professional, so the product and services and experience is very also important, and the strategic leader has only one. So that's why it's important, and of course we have only one things which is remain, is the transformation as well. So let's see, the first one is the entry point, is the foundation. It's introduced everything about that, the concepts. So it's has the ITIL 4, it's coming everything about what we learned from the ITIL 4. And there are some changes, as I mentioned, the value chain has changed, and of course the life cycle is also changed. So there are some difference, and of course the governance about the AI, and inside the value creation and the continual improvement we can find the AI as well, such as a very important part. So that's why the ITIL framework is showing the AI native at all of the points and all of the documentations. IT practice manager, as I mentioned, this designation, it helps. So if you have the foundation, it's not enough. The practice manager has three streams and parts. If you would like to have some, maybe you have a service desk, it's very important to make sure that yes, the service desk is know about that, what are the competencies is necessary, what kind of professional working, what kind of behavior it's important. So because we use the 4 dimensions as well. And of course, incident management, problem management, service request and monitoring, and even if we can realize the monitoring, support and fulfill. So these 5 components is a must. And the plan and implement control, this is also important about the change and some kind of DPI as well. And the software development and lifecycle management is also part of it. And the final part, the collaborate, assure and improve. So this is good for the service level managers and the service managers, and it's also important about the DPI as well, because some kind of governance GRC has the same and working with this kind of informations. So highly suggest to see and try to find a way to get information about that. And as I mentioned, the managing professional, so the product service experience, and final the transformation. It's a very important part to see how the organization change and how we can implement and how we can transform everything from the past, from the previous working methods to a digital one. The strategic leader, if we have a foundation, the strategy is also an important part of it, and the IT transformation is important to make sure that you get that kind of designation. And the IT transformation, if you can see here, the IT transformation only needs to be taken once. So if you have such as a practice manager and you have the transformation, and you can go ahead with the managing professional or even the strategic, there is no problem with that. Not, you don't need to pass it again, just only one time, it's enough. So that's why it's a very good thing. And of course, why you need to pass an exam, it's 3 or 4 times, it's absolutely can be crazy. The AI governance I mentioned, the extension module is also important, but as mentioned that it's also important for the companies starting to thinking about that the good AI governance, digital technologies, and making some kind of real governance in holistically in the organization. It's a very important part, as I mentioned that maybe in the next year it will be a very, very important part of the companies. And nowadays there are lots of policies and regulation is coming about the AIs. And the AI, it's an emerging technology, so day by day we have lots of information about it, so it's highly suggest to go ahead with that. And the IT master, so if you have time and maybe your company is supporting you to be an IT master, so it's a very high and very, very nice journey, but it's very important because you have a holistic way of working, and of course you have some kind of deep understand, so what's going on inside the company and inside the level, strategic level, tactical, and the operational level of the IT framework. So the IT master is a very good and very interesting journey, so go ahead. And now we can see what is the difference between the IT versions, but and how you can do that kind of transitions, which as I mentioned. So there were some principles when they made some kind of design and architecture about that, how they can do the transitions. They try to do it simple and clear, easy to understand. Of course, we have some documentations such as this presentation. So after that, when we finish this webinar, you will receive this presentation site. So don't be afraid if I speak something but you don't understand the first. Don't be afraid, we have this PDF and there are lots of scenarios as well. I'm pretty sure that you will find which is important and which is best for you if you would like to making some kind of transitions. Re-engagement, so it's not speaking just only for the IT4, they're speaking to the IT version 3 experts as well. So please be so kind, don't be afraid and don't be disappointed about that, because the IT4 has a really, really big change. We try to help you to understand, so what is our aim, what is the vision for the new ITIL version 5. So that's why they're trying to catch these ITIL version 3 experts, and that's why they have some kind of transitions as well. So we have some existing investments. So lots of the company has not just only ITIL foundations, maybe they have some other certification, or even you have 2 or more certificates, but you have no any designations. It also can help you how you can move forward and pass some kind of certificates and get the ITIL version 5. As mentioned, the re-engagement as well. It's very important the new value is clearly communicate and trying to educate the additional value of the ITIL. So because of that, the AI, the experience is also a very important part of it. And of course, the product and service life cycle is very, very important. So keep designations meaningful. So it's very important for the relevance of the current titles and the smart upgrades, so you can decide what's going on and what is the next steps for you in your ITIL career. And the transitions and organizations at the companies, so it's some kind of evolving about the previous version. So the practice guidance as well, it also can help you to guide you how you can move forward. Let's see the first one. So we start from the past. So ITIL version 3, you can see here, this is a very, very old scheme about that how we started. There were some points, credits, 2 and 3 credits for it. And finally, the managing act of the life cycle. It was a very, very hard exam, but you pass the exam and you receive the ITIL expert. And of course the ITIL master. This is also, but it's very hard because there was some more interest. It's not just an automated. It's a very, very hard exam as well. So some kind of project, and you let's explain your project and try to protect and explain why it is important. Let's see how we can use and what we can do. If you have an ITIL version 3 foundation, there is no any bridging options. You can go ahead with just only for the ITIL entry points. And this is the same situation with the intermediate. So such as you have the service operations. Most of the guys in the IT field has that kind of service operations, but nothing else. Maybe customer service improvement and continual improvement as well, or even service design. Unfortunately, there is no any chance to do and trying to some kind of transition on upgrades, no bridging. So this is the same situation if you have a version 3 foundation and intermediate. This is the same. But if you have an ITIL expert, so there are lots of things, lots of efforts. Because of that, there was some trainings, there were lots of exams you passed in the past, so you are eligible to get that kind of things. So ITIL managing professional, there is some assessment, and this is one exam which can help you. So the ITIL managing professional can help you. In the previous version, ITIL 4 has the same situation, and this is also the same for the ITIL masters. So that's the part was I mentioned that. So they try to catch this kind of guys and wake up these guys. So please be so kind and try to follow that road and try to follow and continue your journey in the ITIL framework. Let's see the ITIL 4 qualification scheme. So currently most of you has foundation, or even some of you has some create, deliver and support. This is some kind of intermediate trainings and the drive stakeholder value. There are lots of very things and very important things, such as the high velocity IT, and as I mentioned, the direct plan improve, some kind of GRC. It's a governance, risk compliance part of the task inside the companies, and the digital and IT strategy, some kind of holistic way of the working and some kind of digital strategy. So hopefully some of them has this same, and maybe you're thinking about that, move higher or try to make some transition to ITIL version 5. Let's see the possible way and what kind of options we have. If you have any ITIL 4 certification, so this is absolutely, it's a valid prerequisite to go ahead. So it's not necessary to pass the ITIL version 5 foundation. So if you have an ITIL 4 foundation, you just go ahead to a higher intermediate trainings. ITIL 4 practice manager. So if you can see, if you would like to be that kind, so complete the ITIL transformation and you can upgrade. This is also important for the managing professional level and the strategic level. So this is a complete ITIL transformation to upgrade. So maybe, oh, sorry, I'm even trying to find, yes. So this is it. So this is the only way. IT transformation, it's enough, and you will get this kind of designations for the ITIL version 5. And if you have the IT4 Master designation, it's a special exam. It's an IT Managing Professional Transition module. It can be upgraded, so it's a little bit different than the others, and it's very important to have. It's a final stage of the validation. There are lots of consultancy with the guys. They are some architects, so they help with that kind of information. So all of the information will be shared, but currently it's in progress. And let's see what's happening with the IT version 5. So if you have IT4 foundation, you can go ahead with the IT foundation bridge. So you don't have time to have some 2 days training. You just only 1 day or even half a day. This is for you. So what is the purpose? It's absolutely a fast, low cost upgrade of the foundation, and the price, it's also half or maybe it's even cheaper. So that's why it can be good if you would like to upgrade your ITIL 4 foundation to ITIL version 5. So the target audience is can be the same with the ITIL 4 foundation certificates as mentioned. That's not necessary, and there is no time to make these kind of things. That's enough. I'm just only try to have some kind of upgrades. If it's a quick knowledge, it's enough, and you have some kind of ideas about the previous ITIL 4 foundation, you just only learn the difference between the two versions and you are good to go. Exam prerequisites for this ITIL 4 foundation, any ITIL 4 qualification, or except some kind of extension modules, so the cloud and sustainability. There is no prerequisites for the trainings, so if you do it self-paced trainings, there is no problems with that. You can pass it. Recommended training duration, as mentioned, 1 day, and we have in the training 360 we have it's 3 or 4 hours. It's a gross. It's very good for this, so you can go ahead with that. It's a morning or an afternoon session, and you can go ahead with the exam. So it can be help you to be ready to get the exam. And very important, the exam is also different because normally the ITIL version 5 foundation exam, it's 40 questions, but the bridge is 20 questions. So this is the difference between, so we have only the half of this. ITIL managing professional transitions. So this is upgrades as well. So the target audience also the experts, masters, managing professionals. So and the ITIL master, of course. So that's why it can be a help to make sure that you do this upgrade. It helps you because the product, service, and experience. So it's 3 exams. Just you can use the transition, and it's so easier than you go and try to learn everything about that. So there will be some tricky questions, and maybe it's a little bit hard to learn because there are some kind of contents transitions, of course. So there are lots of information and content, but if you have familiar how to learn good, it will be a very good exam and possible way to get the IT managing professional version 5. Currently it's not issued, but in May I am pretty sure that they will get it, and we will have some announcement from the people set that they will provide every information and the product as well. Let's see the scenarios. So maybe if you have some questions about that, such as, okay guys, I have an ITIL version 3 foundation certificate, what I can do. It's very important. So the version font is not accepted as a prerequisite. You can go ahead with the IT version foundation, so IT version 5 foundation. So it's not, unfortunately, it's not working in this case because it's a very old one. And of course, there was a very huge change between the IT version 3 and the IT version 4. So that's why there is no any chance to making something with this kind of things, because it's absolutely a basic level, so it's an entry point of your exams. The next one, I have intermediate certifications. I have version intermediate certification. You should decide how many exams you have. So unfortunately, the version 3 intermediate, it's not enough, because if you have some designation, so such as the IT version 3 expert or a master, it can be a part of this transition, so you can go ahead with the managing. But unfortunately, only one, such as a service operations, service strategy, it's not enough to do it. So you can go ahead, and the ITIL foundation will be your entry point in this situation. The next one, I have ITIL version 3 expert designation. This is a good news for these guys because they can move directly to the IT managing professional transition. So this is also will be a part of the product. So as I mentioned in this quarter 2, you can get the information about it. So it's maybe in May, at least you will receive that kind of information from PeopleCert. This is also important. The same situation, IT version 3 master designation is the same. So that's why we can use the IT managing, and this is also can help with the guidance of experience, product, service, and transformational areas as well. So it's a little bit good situation. So you can change and you can use this kind of IT version master and jump very high for the IT version 5. The foundation certificate, you don't need to retake the foundation because, as they mentioned, all of the previous things such as IT4 foundation is a must. It's also important, and we can use this as a new thing here. So build on your IT4 foundation, you can go in an upper level. If you would like to making some kind of upgrades, so the IT foundation version is highly suggest. So that's why you can use that kind of parties. What we have, I have single IT4 certificate but no IT4 designation. So you should think about that here. So what is important? So maybe you go for the strategic leader or go for the managing professional. You should calculate what is the price, how much effort is necessary, how much time and days necessary to learn making that kind of upgrade. So you should thinking about that, what to do, which is the best for you. So you should calculate how many exams is necessary to get that kind of designation you would like. One certificate away from ITIL for MP, highly suggest to go ahead with that, because if you are so close to achieving this, recommend it to complete the final IT4 module, and after that you just easily go with the transition module, and you will receive the ITIL version 5 managing professional. So that kind of situation when you can use, and when it's very valuable if you have these efforts, and you can use it in the new versions. ITIL managing professional, it's absolutely directly you can go with the transition module. There is no chance to do this because it's so easy. So that's why it's easily go directly. So it's only one exam. It's a transition module. Maybe it's a little bit hard. To be honest, I have no idea because we have no idea about the people set. They will issue it, and after that we will receive. So how hard can be this kind of upgrade? Strategic leader. This is also the same. So we can upgrade easily with the ITIL transformation, so it can help, and this is also important for the practice manager as well. So if we have this kind of designations, all of the designations has the chance to make that kind of upgrades using the ITIL transformation modules. And finally, we have just it's maybe 5 minutes, so we will see what is the quick review of the ITIL version 5 modules, and we can say products. The first one is very important. We have 2 books here. So the ITIL product and service, it helps you to understand the concept of the product and service lifecycle. So commonly we can say digital product and service management. So this is the ITIL version 5. So we can say not ITSM, it's digital product service management. So these 2 books covering everything about the discover, design, acquire, etc. So that's why you can use it. So why it is important, why it matters? So digital product and services, currently it's very important. The contact is very new and very useful because lots of the things and lots of the consultancy is coming from the market and all of the market relevance inside this book. So you can read it and you can understand how it's working currently at the companies. And it's very important, the life cycle. So as I mentioned, they changed the value chain. So it's not 6 steps, it's 8 parts and 8 stages: discover, design, acquire, build, etc. So that's why you should read it and you can take the exam about that. It's very important part, as mentioned, that nowadays it's not enough to get that kind of and receive that kind of supports and provide that kind of supports for the companies. They wanted the wow effect. They want very good technologies, very good experiences, such as if you have a car sharing, if you have a mobile services, or even a streaming experiences or any other experiences. It's very highly valuable for every consumer. So that's why the experience helps you to make sure that what kind of principles available in the market and how you can change the company and how you can provide that kind of trainings and what kind of methodology is important to do this. Also, it's very important about the metrics and what kind of practical tools used by the companies and used by the top 10 international companies. They're working with the ITIL experiences. The strategy, it's some kind of DPI, direct plan improve, of course, but this is some kind of holistic way. So maybe if you familiar with the digital IT strategies training, so this is also for the ITIL foundation, for the ITIL 4. That was a holistic way of the digital transformation. So this is also the same. So there are some directions, priorities, and value outcomes about that, how we can provide that kind of information at the organization, what the policy is important, how the executive and leadership is working, what kind of questions, what kind of answers is necessary in the day-by-day work. So that's why the IT strategy can help you. And of course, it's important to be familiar with what is the vision and strategy and how you can get this information and how you can provide and transform this information in the strategic, tactical, and operational level at the companies and be some kind of value creation company. The next one is a transform business, enable, reinvent, and deliver value. So as I mentioned, the ITIL transformation. So this is the last exam. So which you can pass, and it's important to have some kind of designation, such as the practice manager, the managing professional and the strategic leader. So that's why it's important. This is about the service, and this is about the organization and organization change and the digital changes. Why it is important for the companies, what kind of thinking it's important. It says build a professional using ITIL to align people, process, and technology for sustainable change. It's very important also for the sustainability, or even maybe you remember the PASL model as well. So there are lots of things about that. So what we can use and what is important for the company nowadays. So it's some kind of environmental things, some kind of any other which is must for the companies. And the final part, and as I mentioned, it's an extension module for it, and as I mentioned, it's a must. So sooner or later it will be a must in AI governance, because there are lots of regulations coming from the European Union and from the USA as well. So on the lots of products will be changed, and providing the services also will be changed, and we have lots of information, customer informations. So it's very, very important to make sure that what we can do, how we can build up an AI governance inside the company, how we can control it, and how we can learn everything about that, what will be changed because of that. So the large language models, the machine learning, it's coming from a very plain situation, and nowadays they had a very, very huge evolving in the previous months, previous years. So that's why the AI governance is a must, such as the AI ops. AI is aided, the operational things aided by the AI. So this is also an important point, such as maybe some kind of projects, products such as Dynatrace as well, and there are some cyber security products as it's built and provided some kind of AI related support. So that's kind of things, it's very, very important. So that's why it will be a very, very valuable knowledge in the next years. And that's all for today. And hopefully you received that kind of information which was your questions and helped you with some kind of slides. So as I mentioned, my colleagues will sending to you this kind of PDF. Lots of these scenarios was mentioned inside of it. So if you would like to go ahead with your career and go higher in the ITIL, just go ahead. The possibility is here, and the ITIL version 5 is here. And the final parts of this, so which is important for you for the intermediates, will be issued in the quarter 2. So I think it's May. In this year, in May, you will receive every information about that, and after that you can decide what's going on and what will be your plan to go higher and higher and get that kind of designation you would like to receive. Okay, so thank you very much. So if there is no any questions, there is no any questions about these things. As I mentioned, you will receive everything about that. So I would like to say thank you for the attention and some kind of things about the participations. So if you have any questions, just go ahead with the Training 360, and there are some key account management. So please be so kind. Asking them about the trainings, asking them about the workshops, everything about the ITIL version 5. We will we will send you all of the information which is important for you. So thank you very much again, and have a nice evening. Bye.